Is Usyk up next for AJ? What to make of Bivol's latest performance? Plus boxing steroids problem. We get into all that next. Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Champion. A lot of news to get into. Let's start with the heavyweight division. Eddie Hearn has said that Alexander Usyk may get a chance at his cash cow and unified heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua as soon as 2019. So AJ has that April 13th date scheduled in Wembley. That's likely going to go to the winner of White and Chisora rematch. We'll get into the Wilder thing later. I don't think that's going to happen. I'll explain that in just a bit. AJ will likely fight again in the late summer, fall of 2019. That opponent could be undisputed cruiserweight champ and pound-for-pound elite Alexander Usyk. Eddie Hearn said that Usyk will have to cut his teeth with a couple of heavyweights. Okay, so first of all, I want to get into this Wilder thing because I know that I did another video on this earlier in the week. I don't think this Wilder thing, I don't think this offer is legitimate. The two-fight offer that Eddie Hearn is apparently offered or preparing to offer or getting ready to offer or think about offering or writing an email to offer Deontay Wilder. I don't think this is a real offer. I think it's a head game. I mean, to bring this up a week before the fight with Fury is beyond strange. Look, and I don't think the Wilder AJ fight's going to happen at all in 2019. I don't know that it's going to happen in 2020 either, and I'll explain. I don't think it's going to happen for the same reason I don't think Crawford and Spence is going to happen in 2019. Just like Al Heyman has got a stronghold on the welterweight division, the Zone and Eddie Hearn have a stronghold on the heavyweight division. Eddie Hearn didn't invest all this money into all these heavyweights to have his champion fight a non-Eddie Hearn fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's going to keep the money on his side of the fence for as long as possible. Look, every time AJ fights, regardless of who it is, it's a big payday. He fights Carlos Takam. He fights Povetkin. It doesn't matter who. It does big numbers. He can just cash in on, $20, $25 million paydays for his fighter over and over and over again. He's got Big Baby Miller. He's got Dillian White. He's got Chisora. He's got so many guys. Now Usyk on his side. He can make fights for AJ using just his talent for the next couple of years, and I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna have him run roughshod all through his talent before he has him lock up with Deontay Wilder. So we may not get that fight anytime soon. I'm just being realistic. I think the path for AJ in 2019, do I want to fight Wilder? Of course I do. Do I think he's going to? Is a different story. I think Wilder's going to fight. I think Dillian White's going to beat Chisora, so I'm going to use White. If Chisora wins, just substitute White's name with Chisora. But I think AJ is going to fight Dillian White in April, and then he's going to fight in probably August, September, maybe October. I think he's going to fight Usyk. Just my prognostication. It's what I see happening. He's again, Eddie threw this out there. I think that's why he signed him. I think he thinks this is a big fight. Is it a big fight? We're going to find out. That I think Usyk would have a really good chance of winning that fight, at least a 50-50 chance of winning that fight with AJ. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Usyk beats Wilder. But let's check it out. Usyk as a heavyweight has a win over Bellew, and Bellew has had more. Look, Bellew had success at heavyweight. His top two wins are better than Tony Bellew's best two wins at heavyweight are better than Wilder's two best wins. You may not like that. It's true. He's got two wins over Hay. Okay, Wilder has a win over Ortiz, and then what's his second best win? Spilker. Hearn. You see what I'm saying? So Bellew has his best wins are better than Wilder's. Usyk knocked him out. He's got a win over Michael, the Bounty Hunter, who has had some success at heavyweight. So, look, who do you want him to put on his resume? His resume is already bordering Wilder's, right? Beating Bounty Hunter and beating Bellew. That's the type of level of heavyweights that Wilder beats. You know, those type of guys. So, who do you want him? Who do you want Usyk to fight next? If he's going to cut his teeth at the heavyweight division before jumping in with Joshua, who do you think he'll fight, and who do you want it to be at? Again, we need to keep in mind who Eddie Hearn usually uses as intro guys, comeback guys and intro guys, right? So you can just look at Amir Khan. He took Amir Khan back after a 2-year layoff or whatever, and put him in with Phil LaGreco. He put Kell Brook in with a nobody. So look, chances are for his first fight at heavyweight, Usyk's gonna get a nobody. I got a few names. David Price would be a possibility. That would be a name. I'm not thinking it's going to be him, although that would be a possibility. There's an Irish heavyweight, undefeated heavyweight named Neil Kennedy. Like I said, of Ireland. I think that would be an option. Other names, I think that we may see Usyk fight in his first fight at heavyweight would be guys like, and you guys aren't going to like these names. But look, it's mismatched room for a reason. Eddie Hearn doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to put him in there with a top-notch guy. Gary Cornish, the Cuban heavyweight Robert Alfonso, David Allen, but I think we're going to get a name, if not one of those names like that. And then after he gets one of those wins, then I think he goes to Price or Chisora. I don't think he puts him in with White, and I don't think he puts him in with Big Baby Miller at all. Because I don't think he wants to run the risk of him losing. And those are big heavyweights. Like, if you think AJ can beat Usyk, then you probably think that White or Big Baby Miller at least has a pretty good shot. Eddie Hearn don't want to risk that. So, again, if I had to pick two names, I'm telling you right now, the two names I would pick, Neil Kennedy of Ireland for his first fight, and then for his second fight, I would think, and this is a guess, David Allen. Those are the two names I think he'll fight in preparation for AJ. Are you impressed with those names? No, neither am I. But I don't think you're going to see him in there with DAZN's top-notch heavyweights. I don't see it. We'll see. I think we'll see Usyk probably February again, and then we'll see him in May. And then we'll see him fight AJ in September, October, or something like that. Probably September. But that's just, that's my hunch. That's my gut feeling. I don't have any evidence for that yet. That's just, if you ask me what I think is going to happen, that's what I think is going to happen. Look, Usyk is a tremendous, tremendous big man. The speed, the foot speed, the coordination, the footwork, the combination punching, the punch output from Usyk is unique at this size. I don't remember a 220-pound. And that's what he's going to weigh. Remember, he came in 30 days out for his fight with Gassiev. And he was 215, 30 days out. So he probably walks around. He's probably a 220-pound heavyweight. And you're not going to bulk him up anymore because you don't want to lose any of his flexibility, any of his mobility, his agility. You don't want to lose any of that. So it's not like Holyfield where the goal was to take Holyfield from a cruiserweight and transform him into a heavyweight. That's not what you want to do with Usyk. This is what you see is what you get. You're going to get this highly athletic, highly mobile, high punch output fighter, and that's what you're going to go to the heavyweight division with. I think he could beat AJ. Will he definitely beat AJ? Absolutely not. AJ will obviously be a betting favorite, and I think it's a 50-50 kind of fight. It will be tough for Usyk to get a decision over AJ. We know that in England. But he can do it. He has the skill set to do it. And again, he's not going to be a small heavyweight. He's going to be 220. He's bigger than David Haye. He's not that much smaller than Wilder. So there's a lot to Usyk. I would rather see Usyk fight Wilder first. I think it's a better fight for him, but you're not going to get that. So this is what you're going to get right now. But let me know what you think on my path for Usyk. Do you have any better names than what I gave you? I know you guys are going to love the names. I gave Usyk for his 2 fights at heavyweight, David Allen and Kennedy. But leave your thoughts, comments below. Let me know what you think. And do you think that Usyk fight is realistic? Do you think it will happen in 2019? Eddie Hearn says it could. And now I want to get into Dmitry Bivol and his performance on HBO. Absolute domination by Bivol. He beat Usyk. He beat Usyk. He beat Pascal. He absolutely dominated Pascal every minute of every round. Pascal fought hard, but it's a shame with Jean Pascal. 40 professional fights, right? An illustrious amateur career, and no one ever taught him how to throw a straight punch. I mean, it's pretty amazing. If he thought he was going to land those wide, sweeping shots on Bivol in the first round, he was mistaken. By the 5th round, he was insane. I mean, he's too good defensively. His footwork is too good to think that you're going to hit him with those shots. And it's the same problem as Arthur Abraham. I mean, I guess he fell in love with his power early on. And he's also, Pascal's a really good athlete too. He's usually quicker than the guy he's in the ring with. But he's 36 now. It's not there anymore. And he looks bad at this point. I was never a fan of Pascal. But I thought Bivol's performance was good. I think it was very workmanlike. I think he went into work every round. I think Pascal has a good chin. I don't think Bivol's power is breathtaking, right? I don't think he's got Kovalev power, but his power, I think, is certainly serviceable, although I think Bivol would be better off at 68. So we'll see. But a lot of times, the light heavyweight division is super middleweights who just outgrew the division when they get older, So we'll see. Bivol says he can make 68. I think he's a very fundamentally sound fighter. He's pretty basic. But he's got good snap. He throws nice combinations. He's a pretty complete offensive fighter, and he's very responsible defensively. I don't know if anyone at 75 can beat him. Most of the guys at 75, Alvarez, Badger Jack, Stevenson, obviously, are rather old. I think if he's going to... The guys at 68 are going to go to 75. That's where or he's going to have to go down to 68. Andre Durrell. It would be an interesting name. Durrell has a tune-up fight coming up. He's never won a world title at 68. He's going to 75 now, which is that kind of normal move that 68-pounders do. Go to the light heavyweight division. I think Durrell... Look, Durrell is... I know he's never won a world title. I know he's been a disappointment to most fans. He's a real good fighter. He might be able to beat him. I want to see Durrell again. He is also getting up there in age. He's 35, so it's going to have to move quickly. The guys at 75, Beterbiev, Joe Smith, I'm just not in love with those guys, any of them. But, and then there's the older guys, like I said, the Alvarez, who's 34, 35. There's Badu Jack, who's I think 35. There's Stevenson, who's 300 years old. I don't know. Those guys they need to fight each other. I don't know if that's going to happen. It's tough with the different promotional, and Bivol is with Main Event, who represents nobody besides Kovalev, and that fight does nothing for me now because Kovalev's basically washed. But Pascal, Bivol looked good. He dominated a guy that he should have dominated. He didn't get the knockout, but I think that has more to do with Pascal's chin than anything else. Look, I don't know why Jim Lampley was gushing over Jean Pascal. Look, he lost to Alvarez. He lost to a 45-year-old Hopkins twice, let's be realistic. I know one was a draw, but he lost both of those. He lost to Kovalev twice. He lost to Frotch twice. Who did he beat? I know, he beat bad Chad Dawson, and he beat old Silvio Bronco. But those are the names on his resume. And Jim Lampley makes him out to be a Hall of Famer. My goodness, that's dumb. I want to get into Max and Jim. Why is Max Kellerman on the undercard hyping up Akhmadov. HBO is going out of business. OOB, out of business. You're never going to air one of his fights again. They were comparing him to all types of Triple G and Roberto Duran and Prince Nassim. My goodness. This dude is flawed and sloppy as can be. He would get his head beat in by somebody like Josh Greer Jr. Easy work for Don't Blink. Easy work. This weird thing that HBO does with fighters from that region of the world is strange. You're never going to cover Akhmadov ever again. You don't need to build up and hype his imaginary star, right? You're making an imaginary star when you're never going to cover one of his fights again. He's flawed, and no one cares about him. Just so you know. But leave your thoughts, comments. Let me know what you think about my analysis and my breakdown of the HBO call with Bivol and the HBO love affair with Akhmadov. One last issue I wanted to touch on really briefly, the steroid issue. I'm going to call this out every single time. So the WBC and their clean boxing program ain't so clean, it turns out. The WBC put out a few days ago an update from October 1st to November 20th, right? So a 50-day span pretty much. They conducted 28 tests. Well, they attempted to conduct 28 tests with the CPB protocol. Only 22 of them were completed. One of them failed. And we'll get to that. His name was Kevin Lorena. He's a cruiserweight, the IBO cruiserweight champion. He tested positive for clemphene on October 18th in South Africa. There were 6 other fighters who didn't take the test at all. And since I'm in the business of naming names, I'm going to do that. Paddy Barnes from Ireland, Laduma Lamati, both Charlo twins, Juan Jose Velasco, who recently fought Prograis and got destroyed, and then Patrick Teixeira, who recently beat Nathan Gallimore. 4 of these guys, the flyweight Barnes, the Charlo twins, maybe it was just the 3 of them, have fights that are scheduled. Although I think one of the other ones has a scheduled fight too. I have to look into that. Maybe Velasco has a fight scheduled. I think Velasco's the other one. But the Charlo twins have a fight scheduled. Paddy Barnes has a fight scheduled with no opponent named. So the WBC is perfectly okay with letting these guys walk in without taking a steroid test. With not just not taking a steroid test, openly refusing a steroid test. Now, I get it, right? A no-show is not exactly the same as an open refusal to take it. But if you get a court date and you don't show, there's a warrant out for your arrest. If your POS, if you have a parole officer, and that parole officer says you have to come in every Monday and take a urine test, and you don't come in, you're assumed guilty, right? So, look, the WBC needs to do something about this, right? Because if they don't, then just don't take the test. Think about it. The guy that failed the South African cruiserweight would have just been better off not taking the test. Because if you don't take the test, there's no consequence. So it's like a breathalyzer test that you don't have to take. Right? Like, who wouldn't take the breathalyzer? Well, the person who's drunk wouldn't take it. And if there's no consequence, don't take it. So you can just juice, and then not take the test. And if you don't take the test, that's fine. Not taking the test is as good as passing the test. Think about it. Right? Just think about that. Not taking the test, which these 6 guys didn't do, is as good as passing the test. So, why take the test? Not taking it's just as good. Who wouldn't want to take the test? Right? Just somebody who's cheating. And I'm not accusing any of these guys of cheating, but what I'm saying is the WBC needs to act like you didn't take the test for a reason. What I would do, and what I suggest the WBC does, is issue a warning. Okay, this is your first missed test. You miss another test, we're stripping you of your title or your ranking. And you have 24 or 48 hours, whatever they find reasonable, for you to actually take this test. So you got, let's say, 48 hours to take the test, wherever you're surfacing. You got 48 hours to come in and take the test, and if you miss another one, we're stripping you. See how serious they are about that. Look, this is boxing. This is not baseball. This is not hitting home runs. This is not amping up your fastball a couple miles an hour. This is not track and field where it's prominent, where this is shaving a couple of tenths of a second or hundredths of a second off your 100-meter time. This is knocking people out. You cannot have steroids in this sport. You just can't have it. Because if I'm getting into the ring, if I'm putting my life on the line with somebody who's cheating, that means now I have to cheat just to make this a fair fight, and it's a never-ending cycle. So there cannot be cheating in this sport. We can't have it in this sport, and you guys need to realize that. And I'm going to call it out in this sport, in my sport, every single time. Apparently the WBC's clean boxing program ain't so clean. Let me know what you think. That's my rant on that. Leave your thoughts, comments below on that, on any topic. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers for Sunday Morning Champion. This is 3D Boxing signing off, saying thank you and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.